Howdy, howdy. Sue Devil here, and welcome to, I guess, my 1,000 subscriber special. I I thought I got a couple of comments in there saying you should do something, say something, because it's been a while. I've been at this for 3 years just for fun. It's just my hobby. But I thought if I'm going to do a subscriber special, I'll just go over the stats, which will be true to my channel and true to the things I do. The first thing I want to say is thank you to everyone who's watched my channel. I think that's the important thing for me more than anything is the people who've commented on this channel, because that's the real fun part for me. I appreciate it so much. I say thank you. I try to make sure I say thank every single person that's ever commented on my channel, and I encourage it. And I've talked to people in various different forms, which is all very satisfying. Because this is just a hobby, you know. I mean, I'm sure if we all have our hobbies, and as I've gotten older, I mean, I've dropped off some of the hobbies that I can do because my body just won't do them anymore. And I've gotten into this, and I absolutely love it. And I played Total War for quite a while, since medieval Total War 1 was the first one I played, and decided to get into making videos because I couldn't find the videos I wanted to watch. That is literally why I started making them. And I really loved Heir of Carthage. I really liked Turn was really new at the time. Loved his videos. I watched The Strategy Professor. I watched Prince of Macedon. I watched tons of his videos. I liked all kinds of videos, but there was none that I wanted to see. Not that other people's videos were bad. I would type in melee analysis, melee attack, melee defense, stats analysis, Warhammer, Total War. I'd look at the forums and I'd find the calculations, but it was not as satisfying as just watching a video. And I thought, well, why don't I just make one? Because I thought it would be fun, and so I did. And here we are 3 years later. Just about. I started. My first video was July 19th, 2016. I'll go take a look at it in a bit after we go over the stats. And of course it is a stats, melee attack and defense stats and difficulty modifiers in Warhammer Total War. That was my very first video, and I will go over that. I want to go over the stats first. Watch time, 2,500,000 minutes. That's insane. That just seems crazy to me. 2 million minutes. I don't even how many hours is that? When you look, 2,500,000 minutes divided by 60. God, that's 41,000 hours divided by 28. That's 20 work years. That's crazy. 200,000 views. And average view duration. And look at some of the videos. Like you can see, just as an FYI, I'll go over some of the other stats in this video for those of you that would like to see them. I really started making lots of videos, and there were different various times. Then I took a long break, and I know there's people who kind of message me and PM me. I can't remember everyone's name off the top of my head. But I had a long break, didn't get online at all pretty much for a full year. And then I decided to come back and start getting into it, and I had some really fun campaigns. And I would say the funnest campaign I've played so far is Mortal Empires, the Legendary Dwarf campaign. I loved that campaign. It was a lot of fun, and it is my most popular campaign. And for the longest time, my most popular video was Dwarf Campaign Strategy for Beginners, and that is on Game 1. I think I'm going to do a series on Game 2, because people keep coming to this video as they buy the first game, or they get a computer that can run it. And I know I talk to people frequently that really don't have the game, and that's kind of how I've done a lot of my videos. Is my assumption is that people don't have the game and they're interested and they want to watch it. And for those people that do have the game, they want to kind of play alongside and look at the stats and have the discussion. And you know, this has been a pretty popular video, even though it's very old. It's one of my earliest ones, Dwarf Campaign Strategy for Beginners. And I need to make 3 more for now that Mortal Empires is almost up. I need to make one for the base starting position, one for Belgar, and one for Ungram for sure. And they'll be popular into the future. I mean, this is almost 3 years this has been up. Like 2.5 full years, and it's still frequently seen. So really kind of cool. But and then mostly campaign videos from there on out. And yeah, I was kind of making lots of videos and having a lot of fun, and then took a big break, and then really got into it big time, and have been fairly steady. I have my ups and downs because this is a hobby. I don't get to this computer every day or even every week, to be perfectly honest. It's really close. So I've tried different things to try and make my videos stable. I've tried doing one a day, and I think right now I'm doing at least one a week. So anyways, that's sort of the videos and the views and everything else like that. Now I will get to you guys, which will go at geography and take a look at where the geography is. And should be no surprise, most of my viewers are in the United States. Now, I'm from Canada, but I did live in the United States for 3 years. I've lived in Costa Rica. I've traveled, or I've been to the United Kingdom, played rugby in the United Kingdom when I was a young fella, toured up through York, North York, and sort of that side, and flew in and out of London when I went up there. Lots of viewers from Germany. And Canada, my home country. Number 4, we're small but dedicated. France, Sweden, Poland, Australia, Spain. Like, I look through this and I think this is so amazing. All the people around the world that have seen any of my videos, it blows me away. Whenever I look at this, that people around the world that share in this passion for data and analysis, and the dwarfs, the Dawi, you know, are kind of everywhere, and it's really, really fun. Like, I'm actually going to be going to Hong Kong pretty soon, so you know, I have some viewers in Hong Kong. This is super cool, and you know, I've been to a lot of places around the world. I think it's really cool that that sort of breakdown. Now, when I look at viewer age, really most people are 25 to 34. I'm nearly 50, so there's very few people that watch my videos that are older than me. 65 plus years. I think that was probably my mom. You know, and some young fellas in there, 13 to 17. But really, I think no matter what age group is watching, everyone's watching for similar reasons, and contributing, like, you know, just through discussion or analysis or requests, or, you know, I bet you a full 25% of my videos that aren't part of a campaign, a full 25% are discussed, recommended, or the ideas come completely from comments. Maybe even 50%. It's a very high amount, and that comes from all of you guys. The view gender bit, well, no surprise there. 99.3% male and 0.7% female. The where was I going to look? The device type. So this is interesting. The second highest device is a mobile phone. And this is why I try and do some of my videos where I talk over things, and I even, when I can think of it, I do try to, like, for example, the recent patch note videos I did, and I try and do this, all my patch notes videos, is I try to talk or read every single line, because I know, I watch videos on my cell phone too. Sometimes I just like to plug in my earphones and just listen to a video. I don't even want to watch it. You know, I just want to listen to it, so I try and do that. And obviously tablets, TVs, game consoles, and computers. And you know, I think it's really neat to see this. You know, still mostly the computer, but a lot on the mobile phone. And when I look at sort of how I try and do my videos, I actually always upload my videos. I don't know, some of you will notice, some will know this, is I always upload all my videos in 30 frames per second. Now the reason I do that is even though I film at, you know, I don't know, 100 frames a second is what my game runs at, and I can record at a very high frame rate, and I can put out 60 frames per second very easy. But I know that when I'm watching videos, if I'm having not very good service or my internet's a little wonky, I prefer a 1080p video to a 1080 to that I can watch, to a 720p video at 60 frames per second that's always chugging, it's always thinking, you know, it's not going. So I try to do all of my videos in 30 frames per second. Now I know there's some people out there that really love 60 frames per second, understand, but I think, you know, if you're watching on a mobile phone and you want to watch at 720p to get it nice and crisp, you know, it's just a little less data, it's a little nicer. And same with your computer, you know, even though you can watch at 1080p 60 frames per second, I mean, this is twice the data. So that's sort of the way that I think about it, is I want my videos that I have out there, anyone who's interested in them, to have the minimum data cost to watch them as absolutely possible. And so that's sort of why I do that, because I think it's, for me, it's more important when I watch videos that they're clear and crisp, as opposed to the FPS, the frames per second, is really high. So and that's sort of me and you, and we'll go take a look at my very first video. You know, I have lots of melee combat and animation analysis and testing. You know, when I did this video exactly July 19th, 2016. So, you know, that was, we take a look at the effects of melee attack and melee defense stats in the Total War Warhammer combat system, as well as the effects of combat difficulty settings. That is something that precisely that an engineer would say. So, anyways, I'll just play the first little bit of it, and then I'll probably just stop the video.
Howdy, howdy. Sue Devil here. In this video, we're going to look at melee attack and melee defense stats
really is.
In Warhammer Total War.
I remember I practiced that a lot.
When two units collide. We'll go into the formula and see how it operates, especially with respect to the modifiers it has and how it works. Then we'll use that to make a representative graph of what we think.
You know, it's funny, as I look at this, I structured a lot of my videos. I had no idea how to do this. Even when I started, I just bought some software and figured out how to record my screen and played with it. And, you know, making videos has a range. Like, when I look at a guy like Party Elites, I look at his videos, I'm like, oh my God, those must take forever. There we go, the classic spreadsheet right there. But you know, my videos are pretty simple to make, and they still take a lot of time. You know, when I look at some of these really highly produced videos, like, how do you do it? Like Janet on Occasion's videos, like, his videos are really nicely produced, and, you know, from sound levels to the syncing of the videos to the footage that he takes. Yeah, look at that. He probably spends 5 times as much time per video as I do, you know, doing that. In Party Elite, he spends an insane amount of time doing some of his videos. And, you know, you just look at the sort of the spectrum of producing video production, and you can see that you can really appreciate how difficult some of these videos are actually to make. So I try and be very simple and just show what I'm doing. I misspeak all the time. That's one of the great things about the comments, is people will you know, point that out. When you're putting this stuff together, it's easy to make mistakes, even if you know it, because you end up going fast. You know, it's actually, I found that was really difficult to not make mistakes in simple things when you're doing videos, because you're not thinking about the subject. You're actually thinking a little differently, and you don't think all the way clearly when you actually make these. But anyways, that's sort of my very first video. You know, it goes over. Yeah, I wanted to go over. This is the point I wanted to make. I wanted to go over this chart where you look at win rate as stats change versus your troops and an enemy troops, and how important those stat points were. And then I did a bit of analysis and, looking, that's my very first spreadsheet. Obviously it's not nearly, it's pretty rudimentary compared to what I do now, but the basics are the same. Looking at start time, end time, DPS or damage per second, wins, and I was looking at deaths originally. I didn't really know. I never did. I found out I never really did need that, and I actually made some spreadsheets to calculate what this number would be, but never really worked. It was really, really hard to make it work, so I might end up doing that again. It was really fun. And then, I got actual data and put my data in a spreadsheet. And because this is the reason I started doing this is, like I said, this is the kind of information that I wanted to see. Is I wanted to go and look at videos that were like that. And, I wanted to see how other people approach the analysis, and even some things on the analysis that I might not know, because every single time I go back and look at those numbers, I learn a little bit more, or I'll get a comment which talks about something in a different way than I'd ever considered, and I find it very interesting. I guess I'm just rambling now. So now that I have a actual channel, I guess at 1,000, I guess I'm going to make revenue. It's not very much, really, and I don't even know if I can show it, but it's really not a lot. But I'll make some money. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe from the ads, I'll maybe try and put together a game giveaway at some point, a code giveaway. I would actually really like to do that. Is to use some of this to give back to people that are looking to buy the game, that are or looking to get into the game, because I know there's lots of people that watch that don't have the game, and they might get it someday. They're thinking about it, but maybe at some point I'll do that, just for fun, because this just is my hobby. But it's really cool because now technically I'm gonna have to report this income, so I'm a professional YouTuber, even though it's very minuscule. So it'll be really fun. I don't know if I would get to write off a giveaway. I don't know. It'd be really weird. It's really weird to think about exactly how that will work. Anyways, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been along, who's watched, who's liked, who's supported this channel, and particularly to people that have commented and interacted. The reason I do this is I want to do things that I'd like to see, and the most satisfying part all along has always been the comment section. It is amazing how much I like that part, because I learn things. There's always great discussions. There's very, very rarely anything really negative or sort of a bad vibes in there, because there's the people that watch videos of spreadsheets are usually pretty technical people too, and I know there's people requesting even deeper analysis and analysis on more things. I try to do as much. I'd love to do a lot more, and it's just because when you do this types of thing, you sort of have to really want to do it and be interested when it's a hobby. It's not a job, and it's not something you have to do. So you always have to want it. And then when I do testing, sometimes I'll do, like I live streamed a bunch of testing, and I really enjoyed doing that. But you have to do it. I have to do it personally because I love it, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's ever commented, watched, liked, or did anything, or been here, or who's watching this. There's probably going to be like 10 people that watch this video, because my videos are pretty wordy and not very, I'll say, exciting as it is. As an engineer and a dwarf at heart, this is sort of the stuff that I like. But I know there are those of you out there that do like this exact sort of thing. So I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate it, and I look forward to comments in the future. And really, that's all I have to say. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so very appreciative of every interaction I've ever had on YouTube. All right. Have a good one.